Hello. You. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Banterly, the Gen Z podcast about pop culture, media, and everything in between. My name is Aidan.
And I'm Maya.
Maya, have you checked out our new newsletter, Hyphenly, yet?
I have. I subscribed to it. It came to me this Monday. It was great.
If you haven't subscribed, what are you doing? It's a curated newsletter where we get into all the good stuff, food, holidays, the culture, movies, and whatever else you're into 3 times a week.
It's the perfect way to start your week. They're quick, it's easy, it's digestible, and I'm excited to add it to my news rotation. So, what's been happening this week?
So much has happened this week. This has been a crazy, crazy time. Let's just start with last Monday, the Met Gala. What are your thoughts? You're the fashion expert in the room, so we got to hear your favorite looks, least favorite looks.
This is my Super Bowl. If I can say it's the happiest day of the year for me. I think the holiday season is overrated. The Met Gala is my everything. Okay, favorite looks. Janelle Monáe did a great job. She was wearing Tom Brown, and it was like through the 2D print, and then she whipped it out, and it was the real look. She was incredible. Danielle Lee is revamping Burberry, and if this means anything to anyone, Danielle Lee is to Burberry what J.W. Anderson is, or was, I should say, to Loewe. Like, he's just doing so many great things with the brand. Everyone that Burberry brought and dressed did such a great job. Lauryn Hill in that giant yellow number, she looked insane. She's the only person I think alive that can pull off that color. She was just iconic and great. A lot of misses this year, but the misses were just boring. I don't think anyone was horrible except for Hailey Bieber. I think she looked terrible. I like the theme. I think it wasn't the most inspiring or creative, but I think it gave designers a lot of chances to showcase their tailoring, which is good. What did you think about the theme? What did you think about the looks? What did you think about the people there?
I liked the theme a lot. I liked how there were a lot of, that Black representation is amazing. And I really liked Patrick Schwarzenegger. I liked that.
Oh, was he wearing the yellow? Yeah.
Yeah, the yellow with the red, the maroon. I thought that Joey King with her little green,
and Miu Miu.
Good. That was a shock.
She's never well dressed.
No. But the memes were so funny. There was a picture of what you brought up, Hailey Bieber, in her little pant, like her little blazer. And it was like when the Aritzia store manager gets promotion to corporate.
That's so funny.
Worst look for me was Amelia Gray in her lace do-rag.
She looked crazy. I
knew someone was going to come out with a little do-rag to show Black style. But one look that did stand out to me and the rest of the internet, though, was Miss Zendaya for a few reasons. One, she was wearing a white hat, which I'll get into in a second. But two, her look was strikingly similar to somebody else. And there was a clip of La Roche seeing that other woman show up in a white blazer and pantsuit with a white hat. And he was like, ooh, literally, ooh, who wore it best? The reason the internet is shaking because Zendaya was in a white hat was because of the Zendaya Hat Theory. Now, if you don't know what this is, I urge you to search it up on TikTok because I really can't explain it.
This theory has been around since 2014 when Zendaya showed up to a Teen Vogue party in this huge black hat. And from that point on, people swear something about her changed. The funny and slightly ridiculous joke is that Zendaya was hiding something inside her enormous hat. Jokes have been circulating that the hat was somehow evil trying to eat Zendaya, or that was actually a clever way for her to sneak Tom Holland onto the carpet without anyone noticing.
She's aware of the jokes because she talked about in one of those Vogue videos where they go through their outfits. People are saying Tom Holland was in the hat, like the hat, what's in the hat? And she wore another hat and it was like history repeating itself. So the internet is going crazy about Zendaya and her hat. They're so funny. Everybody's so creative.
I'm still trying to get it. I need to go down the rabbit hole, as you said, to understand why people are fascinated with what's under the hat and why is it Tom Holland?
I think because he's small. Because he's a little boy and he can fit under the hat. That's how I interpret it. I don't know what the answer is, but that's how I interpreted it. Just because he's baby. I'm telling you guys, this is like one of the biggest things on the internet right now. I know it sounds crazy.
I don't think it's crazy. I see it on Instagram. I see it on Reels. It's made it. So it must be
that
big.
was quick. It's a quick turnaround. It was a direct flight, no layover.
It must be big. When it penetrates Reels that quickly, you know that it's really big.
Well, in other news that happened this week, has nothing to do with the episode last week, but oh my God, there's a new pope and he's American. And he's from the Midwest, of all places.
Dobbiamo cercare insieme come essere una chiesa missionaria, una chiesa che costruisce I ponti, il dialogo, sempre aperta a ricevere, come questa piazza con le braccia aperte.
Crazy.
Pope Leo's name was never in any of the runnings. And the most recent article was a Times article released a few days before he was elected. And that was where I guess everyone was flocking to. I was just thinking at my desk when he was elected that the few journalists who decided to write about him are probably getting the most traffic they've ever gotten, because who even is this Pope? Everyone knew about the Asian Pope, even they didn't know his name. And they knew about the one from the Congo loosely, and there's an Italian one. But this American Pope was our Benitez, if you get the reference. He is our Benitez.
He really swooped in and took, I would have killed to see what was happening behind closed doors and what he's thinking. I saw an interview of his brother.
My brother is the Pope, and it's like, I try to say something coherently, and there's 19,000 other thoughts running through my brain. My brother's the Pope. Wow, I can't believe it. I think he'll be fantastic.
You know those Florida Man memes? Like Google, he was Florida Man. Florida Man finds out his brother's the Pope. It's like, you can't make this stuff up.
It's so fun. Every video I see of him is the funniest video. He's like outside and there's someone shoving a microphone. They're also twins, by the way. Every time I see him, I think it's the new Pope. But it cracks me up. The whole time I was thinking, you know who's going to love this?
Bing, 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 bing.
Our president. He's going to eat it up that the king of the Catholics is from our great country. I thought we'd sooner have a female president than a Midwestern Pope, to be so honest. I thought we'd sooner have so many things. I thought I would be on the moon sooner than we had a Chicago Pope, a Chicagoan. That is so crazy to me.
Let's get into our question of the day today.
Our question of the day is, what's a show you started ironically, but then genuinely got invested in?
My mind immediately went to some Netflix shows. Originally, I was thinking Riverdale, but I think when I started that, I was like 16 and I actually like wanted to watch it. So I don't think I watched it ironically, but I would say low key, okay. Jenny and Georgia, and Insatiable too. That was kind of stupid and dumb. With Debbie Ryan.
Fatty Patty's huge.
While my classmates were out losing their virginity, I was at home stuffing another hole.
It smells like bacon.
Ugh. No, those were brutal.
No, I love them now, but I got invested because I was like, oh, people were saying that they were stupid. I mean, Insatiable ended a while ago. But Jenny and Georgia, I think they just released a trailer for the upcoming season.
My mom's awaiting her murder trial, and everyone at school is looking at me like I'm in the circus. It's fun. Your college essay writes itself.
They're still so dumb. I mean, I see those scenes from Jenny and Georgia with, are you even that black? Like, I don't see you pounding down jerk chicken.
Oh, that scene was so painful to get through. Hunter and Jenny.
Yes, with his little ponytail.
Ugh.
So I would say that is a show. I think Netflix is good at making shows that people like to trash, but then they last for 6 seasons. How about you? What is a show that you started ironically, but then got invested in?
The first one that comes to mind is Emily in Paris.
Has anyone noticed this is a very dysfunctional workplace?
I think you're the one bringing the drama.
Which I think everyone watched the first season and was saying how it's garbage TV and it's trash. And I started watching it a bit later. Writing's really bad. The acting's kind of strange. The outfits are weird. It's just like I started watching it. Now I have to watch every single season. And the other one I was thinking about was, have you heard of the show Geek Girl?
No.
This is really strange. Geek Girl, it's about this teenager who's like a rich, she's a geek.
I just looked it up. You guys cannot trash me for watching. You guys cannot make fun of me for watching the stuff I like. If you're over here enjoying Geek Girl, I'm done. I'm done with the conversation, please.
It's pretty, but the thing is, I don't think I watched it unironically. I don't think that anyone's been talking about it. It is dumb, and I'm still watching it, but I'd recommend it to anyone. I think it's really mindless and great. But those are my two. But Aidan, I do get what you mean when we make fun of you for the random stuff you watch, because this is
that is a prime.
I know.
We all do it. Okay. Well, let me introduce you to somebody, Pot. I'm Kettle. Nice to meet you.
Don't call us out for it, but yeah. No, that's fair. I'll take it.
Well, on the topic of silly Netflix shows, this week we're going to be diving into the 5th and final season of Netflix's You, which released on April 24th.
You have a great life. It's just not worth the risk.
The TR Lockwood Corporation will earmark up to 1/4 of its annual profits.
I want our sister to step down as CEO. I'm coming for everything.
I have been hiding certain
Which
things.
is crazy that it's only been 5 seasons. I know that they split some of them up in part 1 and part 2, but this show premiered in the fall of 2018 when we were in high school, which is really crazy to wrap my head around.
It's insane.
When we were introduced to this character, Joe Goldberg, played by Penn Badgley, we did not know where we were going to college. And now we're out of college, working. We've been out of college for 2 years.
I don't even remember watching the first season. I know I did, but I don't remember where I was in life. It felt so long ago. I forgot the show existed until it showed up on my Netflix recommended. I didn't even see promo for it. But I love Penn Badgley, and I've seen him all over my social media. And I'm not a Gossip Girl fan. I haven't loved him for a very long time. But I know he has a podcast, and I've seen him promote that podcast and do interviews with Ariana Grande. I think he's interesting and funny, and he's super charming. And when You came out, I was like, okay. Do you like Penn Badgley? What are your thoughts about him?
So the funny thing about my watching habits back then is I was introduced to Joe Goldberg before I was introduced to his character on Gossip Girl, because I didn't watch Gossip Girl, Dan Humphrey. I didn't watch Gossip Girl until I knew I was going to NYU, so I could get into the New York aesthetic. So this was I had seen You, and then he's also in one of my other favorite movies called Easy A.
Oh yes, he's hot in Easy A.
He's so adorable. I think he's attractive in everything. He's got a quirky, little nerdy, little kind of peanut-headed attractiveness to him.
If someone ever described me as peanut-headed attractive, I would die.
And not in the sense of a small head, but just the shape of his head. It's big, small, big jaw.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Thank you. Peanut styled.
It's giving apple bodied. I don't think he looked that cute when he was in Gossip Girl. Maybe that's a hot take. He looked too, I feel like he grew into...
Maybe he just didn't care. I think Dan Humphrey just carried himself differently. I think it just shows how that Penn Badgley is such a good actor. He can carry himself. And so he's very good at, I keep saying it, but carrying himself. He can really carry himself. Take a shot every time Aidan says,
what can he carry?
Himself. So I'm a fan. I mean, I've only seen 3 things he's been in, but that's enough for me.
I feel like that's all he's been in. It's funny to me that he's been in 2 series that have lasted so long. So good for him. Props to him. Stay employed. I love it.
Well, a quick recap for anybody who missed the past 7 years of culture. Season 1 followed Joe Goldberg in New York. He's a bookstore manager. He ends up stalking and killing his way into Guinevere Beck's life.
I might really like him.
If I just keep being the perfect boyfriend, you'll realize I'm not a maybe. I'm the one.
It ends in her murder. By the way, you're going to notice a theme, should I say, between every season. Season 2, he moves to LA and falls for Love Quinn, who, plot twist, is just as crazy as he is and also kills people. And so they really found their match. Soulmates. Season 3, they marry, move to the suburbs, raise a baby Henry. keep killing. And then he kills love in the end. Oh no, fakes his death, moves to London. Season 4 becomes a professor, Jonathan Moore.
Laying low is imperative. Turns out teaching's fun and London's not so bad. I fell in with the most insane, damaged people on Earth. A circle of privileged douchebags.
And he ends up falling for Kate, who is a billionaire. And there's a serial killer who in the end turns out to be him, but he's just so mentally ill, he didn't realize it. And now we're here at season 5. What happened? Do you want to give us a breakdown of this season?
Season 5 starts where we're back in New York City. He's with Kate, the billionaire. He works for her company. He gets to know a lot of her family members who are part of the Lockwood Company, 2 of which are played by Anna Kemp. One is Maddie and the other is Reagan. They are twin sisters. They're very different. One of them is the PR influencer, bubbly, bright colors. And Reagan is the serious CFO, a little bit of a cold-hearted bitch, but we'll get to that later. We get to see Joe attempt to live his life in New York as a non-murderer for Henry's sake, for Kate's sake, but obviously he goes back to killing. We meet a new character, Bronte, a journalist secretly working to take Joe down. They end up falling in love. There are lots of twists and turns, lots of murder of Kate's family. Every character in this entire show seems to make a bit of a cameo in this season. Everyone comes back. All the women in particular come back.
I enjoyed this season, quite frankly. I thought it was a nice way to end it. And one thing about you is it knows how to do a twist. I mean, with Love being crazy, that was a twist. And with Joe being the trust fund baby killer, that was a twist. And Bronte, who I despised from the moment I saw her flaming red hair on screen, it was a twist that she was some Reddit investigator trying to take him down and has been studying him for years and was also a student of his first victim, Guinevere Beck, the first victim that we meet in the show. So I enjoyed it. How about you?
I liked it. I thought it could have been 2 episodes shorter. It was 10 episodes, and I believed it could have been 8 because I thought that the middle 4 episodes were really slow, very, very slow. I have mixed feelings about it because I didn't think it needed as many elements that it did, which we can get into later, but like the manosphere component and the social media part of it, it didn't feel like it. Yeah, I thought it just went a little bit too hard into a few political issues that I didn't feel like the show needed to talk about. But what I will say is Penn Badgley can act his ass off. I love watching the show because I think he is such a good actor. Even his little voiceover that he does.
Love is tricky. Can we get real for a second? You have questionable taste in friends.
You can see how much he's evolved from season 1, so I love that. Bronte was the worst, but a cool character to introduce as his last person. I enjoyed watching it. I'm happy that it ended, though, and I like that they paid a lot of attention to prior 4 seasons because it felt like they were trying to end it well. Like some seasons don't. They're like, we want to end it this way. We're not going to compromise based on what the audience likes and what the storyline has. Like they just do what they want, and I feel like they were very intentional about this.
It was a nice little bow. It was a nice little bow on this series that's been with us through all these stages of our lives. It's crazy. Let's talk about Miss Bronte. Let's get into it. So basically, Bronte meets Joe because she broke into his bookstore, Mooney's, and claimed to have been going there to take books and sometimes sleep because she was in between places.
Are you sleeping here?
Oh, yeah, that's, people suck. Sometimes it's just easier to be alone.
Yeah, I get that. No wonder Mooney speaks to her the way it did to you.
Such a dumb idea. I'm sorry, especially...
In the end, we find out that's all a ruse to get close to him. She just had that trope of like, I'm not like other girls. You wouldn't understand, Joe. You're rich. You don't know the struggle. Like, you wouldn't get me. Like, like take a back seat. Like Jenna Ortega, who also was in You, could have played this character very well. And there was one flickering moment where I was like, this girl is not who she says she is. When she was trying so hard to get into the basement, I was like, he told you not to go in there. He's your boss. He's letting you sleep here, you poor little girl. Like, why don't you just, why don't you just listen to him? And then I was like, oh, maybe she's like the FBI investigating him. But then I was like, Bronte, never Bronte. Bronte couldn't do that. And in the end, she was swindling him.
She was swindling him with her little Facebook group chat.
Exactly. I never would have predicted that. So good on her. And I think it was good that she did have the wits. There was something about her that she had this spark in her that she was like, I think I can take this man down. Even though she did fall for him a couple times. She was in and out of his spell. She kept going back. That's when it mattered, though. That's when it mattered.
She was weak and then strong and then weak again, but then strong in the end. So I love her from The Handmaid's Tale. The actress is Madeline Brewer, and she is so incredible in The Handmaid's Tale. And I would venture as far to say that she is one of the most beloved characters. Her name is Janine in The Handmaid's Tale. It's also a very dark drama. There is no comedy. It's not lighthearted. It's very rarely romantic. And when it is romantic, it's extremely depressing. It's completely different roles. And I think that she was so annoying in this role. The way that she moved her face to flirt or to, I don't know, the whole like literature student who's read everything and can banter with you. It was just, I hated it. It made me so uncomfortable. Every time she was on screen, I was rooting for him to kill her. And that's not how you want your heroine to be. You should want her to live for a long time.
Yeah. Let's get into Maddie a little bit because
yes,
Anna Camp, I really love Anna Camp. I mean, Pitch Perfect's one of my favorite movies. I think she's so talented. I haven't seen her act in a role that is this demanding because she played twins, Maddie and Reagan, like you said. And I like both Maddie and Reagan. I'm sad that Reagan, spoiler alert, died like halfway through. But I like those. I think she was channeling her character from Pitch Perfect being that HBIC. And Maddie was so innocent and was manipulated. And God, she was manipulated into killing her twin. Yeah, her twin was horrible to her. Reagan's husband and Maddie were having an affair. So in the end, Maddie got to live happily ever after with her twin's husband and have a baby with him, which is crazy. But Reagan deserved it. And it's still hard. No one should have to kill their twin or anybody in their family.
Joe manipulating Maddie to kill Reagan was a really dark twist that was sad. But, let's hope that in their next life, the little affair and their 2 kids will live happily ever after.
Yeah, I do wish them the best. They have a lot of coin, obviously, but, got to maintain the coin, give the daughter a good life, give their new kid a good life, and stroll off in the sunset because that's what she deserves. Should we talk about the ending?
Yeah.
This season ended with Joe getting his penis blown off by Bronte and ending up in jail and was convicted. We can assume that he has like a life sentence or something like that. But he's in jail. He finally gets all his crimes catch up to him. And that's where we leave off. But it was exhilarating, the last scene. I thought he was going to get away.
That last episode, wow. That was the biggest redeeming moment for Bronte was that woman fought her ass off. I was white knuckling my blanket that I was like hiding under because it was so intense, action packed. It looks so. There is this one scene. Oh my god, that Rhea. I watched it with my friend. We replayed 6 times. It's when she's looking out the window and all you see is a silhouette of him half naked running towards the house.
That was so scary. That was actually terrifying.
We sat there and we played What Would You Do for like 10 minutes if you were sitting at home and you saw a half naked man running full speed at your front door. I said that I would lock myself in the bathroom. I don't know what I would do after that.
That was a big ass house too. I wouldn't know where to go.
Terrified. This man wants to murder you. No. I think it was like a 20-minute fight sequence where they were just running around the property, falling into the lake, running into the woods. He needed to put some clothes on. It was cracking me up, but he just needed to like get himself more situated. But yeah, the ending was great. And he finally got convicted, which was shocking. I really, really thought that he would get away with it.
Me too. Me too. Another thing that this show does is because we are inside Joe's head hearing his thoughts, it's really easy to root for him. And I had to constantly like shift my perspective and be like, this man is killing so many people. Like he is not the good guy, but something about he was charming, he was manipulative. He could manipulate the people on the screen, and he could manipulate the people watching the screen, like me, because I was like, run, Joe, kill that Bronte bitch, kill her. But I'm glad he got arrested. But it could have gone either way for me. And I think it was good for the people and all his victims that he did get. They did get a little bit of justice in the end.
They did. I'm a little bit shocked at how a few of them survived, in particular Kate. We got no clarity on how she got out of the fire in the basement of Mooney's, but all the women had a happy ending with a little bow on top, except for the ones that are dead, like Love and Guinevere Beck.
I don't like Kate. I mean, she could have died. Like, bring back Love. She was
hypocritical.
So hypocritical. Like, you have so much blood on your hands and you're acting like you're holier than thou. And you have an accent and you're rich, so you think you're the shit. Oop, you ain't even the fart.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. Classic Ice Spice. I love that.
She was so annoying.
She also, to me, if you are so fearful of someone like that being around your son, you like probably shouldn't be his mother, because you were him. Like, you also murdered people. You also have these really dark thoughts you'd admit to. Like, why not send him to family, have him in their safer homes, but you just want him for yourself, which is
greedy.
I don't know, hypocritical.
Maybe
this is a me thing. I thought that the show, it's not that it didn't have a political element to it, but it really wasn't sent home the way that it was in this last season. Bronte's in final monologue when they're in the pouring rain and she's trying to finish him and kill him, or at least wait until the police come. She said something.
I see it clearly now. The fantasy of a man like you is how we cope with the reality of a man like you.
No. Kill me, please!
No. You are gonna live the rest of your life alone.
Louise, I can't.
No,
I'm not getting all the words right, but it's like, it's men like you that hurt women. And there's been a lot of commentary interlaced through this final season about how Joe is a misogynist. And I think he definitely is. And he is trying to white knight by saving all of these women. And that he's, I don't know, it just got a little bit too... like, I didn't feel like it needed that political element to it. I do think that he was, obviously there is a trend in his track record. He falls in love with women, thinks he needs to protect them, and wants to murder people. But I didn't think we needed to include the whole like manosphere and toxicity side of it, because he's such an extreme example of manipulation and toxicity. And I have a lot of friends who've had like super manipulative partners or boyfriends. I've been with manipulative and toxic guys, and you could see elements of it, but I didn't think it needed that direct comparison. It felt like it felt half-baked. If you wanted to say that he was like this is like a feminist story, or he's a big misogynist, I think there were ways to do it that weren't as half-baked. And so I thought it kind of felt like, I don't know, it felt fluffy to me.
Well, Bronte is that type of person that would probably read an article about that the night before and then want to bring it up. So
yeah. Oh yeah. She didn't even read the full thing. She read half of it. She read that line in the blurb. And then she's going to quote it in front of you. Yeah.
I didn't even catch her whole bringing up, alluding to the manosphere and all of that, because I think I was so distracted by the scene as a whole that I was just so anxious that I didn't even take in what she was saying. But it's interesting that you pointed out, because that's it going right over my head. You hear that sound?
Do you remember the scene where the guy that tries to kidnap her, like that whole part too, where he's looking through after he does that press interview with
in the van.
Yes, and he's scrolling through TikTok, and all those men are like, these fucking women are always lying. They're so manipulative. They want to blah, blah, blah. And
yeah. That's interesting. I do remember that now. It's coming back. Maybe that was a little bit more that they didn't have to include. It was just there were already so many things going on.
Yeah. Were you like comparing those men to Joe? Because I think that they aren't.
It's like, it's a different thing. This man has killed 25 people. He's harming, and also not to like defend the men, but he killed more men than he did, even though he definitely was more manipulative and targeted, but he ignored race, he ignored gender, he ignored everybody. Yeah, he did not discriminate with his killing. And so I feel like to compare him to someone who's so like, yes, he was very toxic and very, I'm a man. And I feel like it wasn't like those adolescence thing where someone is going to watch the show and be like, oh, I want to be like Joe Goldberg, or seeing that. Like, it's like, okay, they're just trying to, I guess, buzzwords.
Like, women should not be like, if your boyfriend's being manipulative, you shouldn't be like, oh, well, he's not Joe Goldberg. Like, no, don't look for signs in Joe Goldberg. It's crazy.
God, I hope he's not Joe Goldberg. I rewatched the first episode. I forgot how weird he is. I feel like maybe we just got numb to his weirdness, but in the first episode, how he's stalking Beck and then breaking into her apartment and smelling her and taking her underwear, like, that is so weird. And I feel like he lost that edge by the end. He just became less weird. Maybe I just accept it more. And I'm just like, that's just Joe being Joe. Come on. But
just Joe sniffing.
Ew. Never that. But he's so weird.
No, I remember. I think there was too many points going on in this. Like, he had no time to sniff underwear. He was too busy.
He had no time. Even him falling for Bronte was so quick. I was like, you didn't like her, and then now you're in love with her. Well, I don't think he's been in love with anybody. But Netflix knows its way around some good writing. It ended it could have ended in one of two ways, but I like this ending. It doesn't set up for any future you. We don't need it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Netflix, don't do it. It ended with a female girl gang winning and him being in jail with lots of freaky girls writing letters to him. And I think it was beautiful.
I love the last line.
Yeah. In his jail cell.
He kept getting notes from people who wanted him to do sexual acts to them.
Maybe we should fix what's broken in us.
You're so very special.
Maybe the problem isn't me. Maybe it's you.
The last word was you, and I was like, chills. Let's put a cherry on it and put that in the archive for now. Out of every season of You, what was your favorite?
Easiest answer ever. Season 2, Victoria Pedretti was love. Joe was Joe. Their entire love story, their chemistry, the plot twist at the end, beginning to end, I loved it. If the third and the second season somehow were switched in plotline, which wouldn't even make sense, but I don't think I would have kept watching the show, but she was the deal to me. It was also my first introduction to her, and she was just, everything was great. The brother, the family dynamic, everything.
Like that season 2, season 3 arc was just so good. I will say, I miss Peach. I miss Shay Mitchell's Peach. She was an icon back in high school, but like you said, I kind of forgot that it existed until it came out, and I feel like I didn't hear any press about it or anything, so maybe I won't miss it too hard, but we have Stranger Things to look forward to, another show that started even before You. Well, if you've seen You, if you like You, if you hate You, share your thoughts with us at Banterly at immigrantlypod.com and engage with us on our socials at immigrantlypods on Instagram and at immigrantly on TikTok.
Banterly is produced by Shay Yu, written by us, the co-host Maya, Shetty, and Aidan Taylor.
Our sound designer and editor is Lou Raskin. The Banterly theme music is by Simon Hutchinson, and additional music is by Epidemic Sound. See y'all next week.